Hello students, this is a short video I've made to help teach you a little bit about monsoons. In making this video, we're going to look at a couple maps and some photographs and pictures to help you better understand. But first, I'd like to ask you, what are monsoons? Now, monsoons are predictable and seasonal weather patterns. When we say predictable, it means they're expected to happen at certain times of the year, certain seasons, every year. And they're important because they bring two main weather elements. They bring rain and they bring wind. Now, you're probably thinking, Mr. Thomas, why does this matter? We get rain and wind here and predictable seasons, same thing, right? Spring and fall. You ever hear the saying, April showers bring May flowers? We get rain in the spring and the fall. It's predictable. But these are different. This weather pattern is different. And first, we're going to talk about rain. And these patterns are different because they look like this. And this rain and wind has four main importances. First, we're going to talk about the rain. The rain is important because of, one, the good things it brings. What are some of the possible good things the rain brings? Well, if you were thinking about it helping farmers, you'd be correct. The rain can allow for farmers to have rich, fertile soil, like you can see here. Now it's dark brown. And, more importantly, it can allow for their crops to be watered in the summertime. The second importance is that sometimes these rains can cause a problem. Too much rain can bring flooding. And as you can see here, it's raining very hard, and the water is already up to these men's chests. The floods didn't only happen in villages, they happened all over South and Southeast Asia. These people here are walking down a city street, they're in chest-deep water. You could see the cars floating behind them, probably totally unusable after this. They're trying to just hold on to food so that, they can survive. They might not know when their next meal would be. Now, these rains that come down, they're torrential downpours. They're like Hurricane Sandy or Irene, if you remember rain like that. And the last importance we're going to talk about, we'll have to go back to the map. As I briefly mentioned before, these rains occur in South and Southeast Asia, in this region right here. And this is important because in the upcoming week, we will be talking about ancient dynasties from India and China. These dynasties were affected by the rain and the monsoons. Not only the rain, but the second factor we're going to talk about shortly is wind. Wind is important because it's very predictable during the monsoon season. During the summer months, which is when you get all the rain, the winds are pushing onto the continent in this direction towards the mainland. And in the winter months, the wind's heading away. Why does the wind matter by itself? Who cares what direction the wind's going? It matters for one very, very important reason. It matters for ships. Because during ancient times, sailors relied on these winds. Now, when they had ships, we're talking about ships that were powered by the wind. Ships like this one. This is called an ancient Chinese junk ship. Yeah, it's called a junk ship. But these were very advanced ships. These sailors, during the summer months, would follow the wind over to ancient China in ancient India. So we're talking, during ancient Roman times and later, they'd use these ships to sail across the ocean. And in the summer months, they'd follow the wind across to Asia. And in the winter months, these ships would sail in the opposite direction. They'd follow the winds home, this way. If they're going to Europe or Africa, or if Indian traders were going over there to trade, they would go over to the other side of the Indian Ocean. Those are by Africa, the main importances, and then they'd come back in the summer months, the wind and the rain, and we talked about some of the good and bad things. I hope this video helped.